Yep.
Welcome back to 307 Reacts. I'm Chris, this is Matt, and today we are brainwashed.
Sorry, I didn't. I took a drink. I thought you were going to go further than that. I was like, I got time to take a sip.
Right? We're watching Brainwashed by Tom Macdonald.
Yeah, we're back at it with Tom. Finally, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But honestly, he's kind of been. I don't know. Like we keep up with him.
Busy.
And I think that's what it is. He's kind of been behind the scenes a little bit, but I think he's just been working on a lot of stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know really any context about this song.
I mean, I've seen Upchurch had a little snippet on his story, and he's back on his political stuff, man. Like he's out here hurting snowflakes. And all this stuff.
So this is gonna be fun because this is kind of how I was introduced to Tom in the first place. So I hope it's like reminiscent of kind of the first stuff that we watched from him, which would be really nice. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's from what my mom has told me, it's gonna be a lot to talk about. So let's get into it.
Released 3 days ago and it's got 2.8 million views. So I mean,
sorry we couldn't put it out earlier. We've had just kind of a crazy weekend,
and we got another crazy week coming, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why this is a late upload tonight. This one actually we're reviewing it Monday night, and it's coming out. It's dropping. So
coming to you.
Yeah. So we still got to edit it and do all the things, but we're gonna get it out to you. So with that, let's get into it. I mean, it's Tom Macdonald.
What's up, Tom? What's up, Nova? Let's get it.
Hog family, let's go. Here we go.
The country fell asleep, but they scream woke. We're distracted by vaccines and TV shows, politics, celebrity gossip, popular neat quotes. Black lives, white lives, which lives mean most? We only dedicate one day to remember our fallen soldiers, the men and women who died young. But if you come out the closet as Caitlyn Jenner, you're a hero and you get a whole Pride Month. The most
Dang. Well, you weren't kidding. You were not kidding when you had described the video.
All you gotta say is he's got a valid point.
No, I'm on board. I'm totally on board with that.
Not to take anything away from anybody, okay? But like, dude,
yeah. I mean,
there's literally families who no longer have their sons and daughters because they died overseas. There's some families who turn away their sons and daughters because of their sexual orientation, which is also very unfortunate.
And like you said, we get 1 day a year to celebrate that kind of stuff, you know. And these other things that are like trending and popular now are starting to get whole months and weeks and all that stuff. So
and I love that he says, you know, black lives, white lives, which ones are more important?
Yeah.
And I love how you can just go back and listen to a song that No Lives Matter.
Yep, exactly. Exactly, yeah.
So
he's kind of referencing some of his old stuff even. You know, it's nice.
So let's back it up twice and move on.
Let's go.
Only dedicate one day to remember our fallen soldiers, the men and women who died young. But if you come out the closet as Caitlyn Jenner, you're a hero and you get a whole Pride Month. The most dangerous pandemic's propaganda from these clowns. Only mask that's gonna save us is duct tape on their mouths. Don't speak. We don't need to defund police, need to defund the media who lies through they...
Been saying that, bro.
And like the defund the police thing, like what I never really understood that whole thing in the first place. Like you have to have law enforcement. That's a thing, right? Like you can't just take their money away and take them away from stuff. They have to be
what
there.
they want to do is there was talks of they want to get counselors to do their job. So instead of shooting
I heard
people,
about that, actually, you're right.
For like shooting back at them, they want a counselor to go out. And once that counselor's shot at, they're hoping that counselor will talk them into being a better person and maybe talk them into putting a gun down.
Because that person's flying off the handle anyways. So.
Here's the thing. PCP doesn't allow for that type of communication.
PCP knows no bounds, people.
Dude, I saw a dude on PCP. It was the scariest shit I've ever seen. It was wild.
So it's a weird thing to me, man. Like, I don't really keep up with the media and politics and things like that. But things like, when I do hear about stuff like that, I'm just like, well, I don't understand that. Like, you have to have law enforcement.
What's wild?
Like them or not, dude, they need to be there at some point.
What's wild is I don't know if you saw the news this morning or anything on your Facebook or Instagram or whatever, but Biden has pulled the last of the troops out of Afghanistan.
Okay.
And just hours after they leave, Taliban started coming back in.
Yep, I remember that.
Right? Well, on their last couple planes out, there was a whole bunch of people that like just live there, like regular citizens that don't want the U.S. to leave because they know what's coming. And they were literally grabbing onto the landing gear of the plane and holding on to it as the plane took off, and people were falling from thousands and thousands of feet.
Okay.
Like, people are willing to risk their lives and die just to
try and keep us over there?
Number one, be an American, and number two, like, have us protect them. Like, it is
I didn't hear about that. That's insane. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
getting kind of real over there, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sorry.
Teeth like
Oh,
hold on,
we're
back
backing up.
there's
I'm still not
pandemics,
sorry.
propaganda from these clowns. Only mask that's gonna save us is duct tape on their mouths. Don't speak. We don't need to defund police, need to defund the media who lies through their teeth. Like big pharma doesn't cure you, dog, cause every patient that gets cured is a customer lost. And big oil runs the world. The only wars that get fought are with the countries who have natural resources they want. Heard him claiming if a white man braids his hair and likes rap, he's appropriating culture. But if a white man acts too white, he's white trash. He's a racist, he's a bigot, he's a monster. Let's just have the conversation. Not every liberal is dumb, not all Republicans are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know that if we get along, we'll probably go against them. They can
big facts. Big facts.
See, like that whole verse there is you know, he just spitting facts. Like not every Republican is racist. You know, like it's not like a lot of those are just stereotypes and things like that. And again, I'm not here to get into a political battle or a debate or anything like that. But I just like the way he delivers it. You know.
Yeah, he's like, bro, like. There's good people all around, and all the media wants to show us is the worst of the worst.
Like, no, you're divided. You have to
say,
you have to think this and do this, and
say that that's the majority.
Yep,
and it's
because they know. Yeah, like, I love that because they know if we team up, like we just go against them, and we would win because they'd be super outnumbered.
Yeah, big problem.
There's a movie like it's like what's that movie? A Bug's Life or something like that. Same kind of thing.
Oh
right?
yeah. Because there's way more ants than there are crickets.
Yep, exactly.
What
Grasshoppers?
Grasshoppers. Yeah.
Not every liberal is dumb, not all Republicans are racist.
We're good.
The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know that if we get along, we'll probably go against them. They can't stop us, cause we're ready to fight, trying to brainwash us. But we won't let freedom die, the whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. It's us against them, it ain't you against me. How did monkeys become people and people turned into sheep? They put fluoride in the water that's keeping us all asleep. Claim they want what's best for us, I find it hard to believe. Cause they've been selling us cigarettes since we was 18. Fake news, fake woke.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like he and isn't Tom or I don't know if he is or was trying to quit smoking cigarettes, right? I don't know if that's still a thing for him or not.
Yeah, I think it was right before he released the song Withdrawals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just like how he includes that because like he's in the midst of something like that, you know, and he knows that like, man, you just keep trying to propagate this and try and sell it to me and like put it in my face all the time, and you've been doing that ever since I was a kid, you know, like ever since I was old enough to do it.
And it's all a circle
even before that,
because you know cigarettes cause cancer or they can cause cancer, and then that circles back to big pharma and like so it's a giant vicious circle that. Like, you're like, oh, okay, if something's so dangerous, for instance, like alcohol, right? If something's so dangerous, why don't you outlaw it? Well, because there's tons of money in it.
Yeah,
like
and that's part of it. There's just tons of money, and that is. You're right. Like that's totally the story of big tobaccos. There's just tons of money in it. Yeah. So got to keep it going, man. Yeah. I have tons of money. You know, some of the most profitable people in the world. So.
Right.
So, anyways, let's keep going.
Distract and divide. You're either right or you're left or you're black or you're white. Big tech don't need a microchip to hack in your life, cause the phone inside your pocket is a tracking device. And I don't know what I'm more sick of, rappers or Joe Biden looking like he ate 100 Xanax for dinner. Cause censoring the president and kicking him off Twitter is a bigger threat to freedom than foreign ballistic missile.
That's facts.
Just the way, just the way he delivered that. Like that was awesome,
like,
man.
You know, and that's the whole thing. Like, and I believe it was Tom that was saying this. I could be very wrong, but I remember somebody that we follow in this group saying on their Instagram, they're like, look, I wasn't the biggest fan of Trump, okay? But they go, the moment they took him off Twitter, it pissed me off, because if you can just deplatform somebody as popular and as big as Trump and say, nope, you have no more communication with the public. Yeah. Like that's a real infringement upon freedom.
Yeah.
Like freedom of speech. Like that's a problem.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
So yeah, I mean, he's like, I didn't like the guy all that much, but like, come on, dude, he still has the right to free speech.
I mean,
like,
just like we all do when we get on our Facebook, Instagram, whichever social media platform you decide to, right?
TikTok.
So yeah, which by the way, subscribe. Yeah. So anyways, let's keep rolling, shall we?
Yeah.
Back 5.
Censoring the president and kicking him off Twitter is a bigger threat to freedom than foreign ballistic missiles. You don't trust the police or the government, but you want people giving up their right to own a firearm. Why would you be comfortable
Right.
that police and the government the only people on the planet with the right to buy a gun? White privilege getting amplified to reinforce division. It convinces white people that they're favored by their skin, and black people getting angry because they're told they're treated different. So the conflict is between us and never with the system. Let's just have the conversation. Not every liberal is dumb, not all Republicans are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know that if we get along, we'll probably go against them. They can't stop us, cause we're ready to fight, trying to brainwash us. But we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. It's us against them, it ain't you against me. Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4.
Goodness gracious! Wow.
those first 3 steps.
So how do you even I mean, I don't know if there's any ties between it. This is just a weird scenario that tied together in my head. But like think about the big music industry being tied in with the big cell phone industry too, and those big artists get pushed to those cell phone providers and things like, dude.
Like iTunes being a giant
I don't even know if that's I don't know if that's like an actual thing that happens, or I don't know enough about the music industry to know anything like that. But
it's all related. Okay, so for instance, like the news and everything. If you buy an iPhone, okay, there are several apps that iPhone automatically comes with.
Right. Yep.
Okay, it comes with Google News, iTunes, and then what's the other one I'm thinking of? Like a thing to watch the stock market. I forget what the app's called, but there's those 3 things. Which you're consuming the media by the news and the artists that you see on iTunes, right? So you're now consuming what the media has to say and what the artist is trying to sell you. Then you're financially hung in there watching that stock market all the time. So now you're playing this game of, okay, well, if we have this person in office and this person, maybe my funds will come up or go down, or this will happen or that'll happen. And then I've noticed a lot of people, especially 4 years ago or whatever, were making their decision to vote for Trump just based on, hey, I can make a lot of money in the stock market, provided he gets in.
Yeah.
Which, is probably true, but if that's your only reason for voting the guy, maybe you shouldn't fucking vote.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
There's a lot of things that go into that.
Don't vote for your own agenda, you should vote for the, what's best for the people, which is supposed to be what government's all about, but unfortunately there's problems in there with that. So
the people need to be about the people.
Well,
but that's the big problem.
I believe that as well.
But it all comes down to everything that you're sold. You're sold the iPhone to start with, right? Well, where'd you see that? Well, probably on the last phone you had. Everything is made to sell, and Thomas said that racism is made to sell. The media manipulated it to where it sells. Then Coke goes and, hey, we're gonna be less white. Guess what? They're selling. Okay. Then you got Dick's Sporting Goods. Hey, we're gonna quit selling AR-15 rifles. Okay. Now they're selling to that market. So they're just trying to get everybody in mainstream media, the big corporations, everybody that's involved on the same page, and get them in the same. For instance, the guy with MyPillow, they deplatformed him and took him out of 17 retail stores and over 120 some online stores because he was like, I don't think Trump's a bad guy. That's all he said, and they took all of his products off the shelves.
I didn't know about that either, man.
Yeah, so I mean, they're all Mike Lindell's his name. They're all connected, and that's the unfortunate thing by one thing or
Mike
another.
Lindell? Chuck Lindell?
Mike Lindell. Chuck Lindell, I think, is a baseball or a football player.
I don't know. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, Mike Lindell, the creator of MyPillow.
Right. Yeah. Weird. Every time I think about stuff like this, when Tom's talking about stuff like this, I associate it a lot with the movie WALL-E, and like how everything is, everything's sold you on a screen, and like by and large, the big retail chain. And
me and my brother were just watching the Hunger Games, Catching Fire. I believe it's the third one.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
And we were watching that last night, and it's crazy because President Snow comes to her and says, hey, you need to sell this narrative to basically pacify the other 11 districts. He goes, because they're trying to revolt and stuff, so you need to sell this story that you're really in love and all this stuff. And so in the process of her trying to do that, the people are like, no, like we want to ride with you and go against the big government. And that's basically how the story goes. But I was watching that going, oh, my God, dude. Like, the way they censor everything, they cut the broadcast short as soon as something happens. Or, something happens, but then they go and edit it to make it look a certain way. They adjust it, yeah. And so, like, it's like, dude, there's a lot of that going on in this world today. And it's actually super scary when you look at it in that context.
Yep, definitely. All right, long pause. But we don't say sorry here, so let's go back 5 and move forward.
Yeah. Train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use.
Oh, by the way, that indoctrinate the children through the schools, that's a big controversy with them teaching critical race theory, which I got into a small debate. They're like, oh, well, kids need to know. No, dude, critical race theory is a theory that's taught in college specifically if you're going for a law degree.
Okay.
Why elementary and middle schoolers and high schoolers need to know that, I don't know. But it's literally useless unless you're going into law. The only thing it does is create divide. So anyway, we'll carry on.
Small tidbit.
3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step 5, separate the white from the black. Step 6, separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them more. Step 7, fabricate a problem, made a lie. Step 8, put it on the news every night. Step 9, when people start to fight and divide, take control. This is called situational design. They can't stop us.
Wow.
That was cool. That was cool.
Fight, trying to brainwash us. But we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. It's us against them, it ain't you against me.
That last bit where he's naming out the steps, dude, that was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
The song was a little bit unexpected for me because I wasn't sure what he was even going to talk about or anything. So I was just kind of trying to follow along the whole time. But that part where he's calling out all the steps, dude, loved it. And I like that a lot.
And what's wild is it's not just somebody talking out of their ass. Like you sit there and step. What was it? Step 10, introduce a problem, and then say that you're the solution.
3 or 4 of the steps are basically all about divide, separate the left and the right, then separate the blacks and the whites. Then create problems and lies and put them on the news every single night, and then propagate all that shit. And,
which
start race wars and all that.
The big thing that I believe he's talking about is the whole COVID thing, because as people are starting to investigate this, they're finding that there was money in places that shouldn't have been, and tests being done that shouldn't have been done, and it was all kind of government secretly approved and not approved. And
I didn't know. Oh, okay.
So they basically create a problem to come in and say, "Oh, we're going to save you guys from this," and
I see. Come in and look like the hero, huh?
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
It's all going to come out in the wash one day.
Well, yeah, I mean, all we can do is ride it out for now and see what happens, right?
Yep.
And just keep an eye out and just like
watch
yourselves.
Stock up at the sporting goods store.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What do you think, hat rating guy?
Oh.
What do you think on this one?
I got to give this a 10 out of 10. There was so much thought put
came
into
out
this thing.
3 days ago, and it has 3 million views. It's like 2.8 million views, so basically 3 million.
And
views.
I know we do
that.
5 out of 5 backwards hat, but I got to give it 10 out of 10 because that's how many steps he had.
That works. Yeah, I'm on board with that.
There was a lot of thought put into it. There's a lot of there's a lot of room for conversation, and there usually is in these Tom Macdonald songs. And that's the thing I like about it a lot, is it'll bring people together, and even if they disagree, you're gonna find out who that asshole friend is that's just not going to agree with you and yell at you and call you an idiot or whatever, right? But then you're going to find those friends that are like, hey, you know, I believe this because of this, and you're going to have a civil conversation, and that actually brings people closer together. And that's what Tom's music's supposed to do.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think he's trying to start fights with anybody. He's just presenting how things are. Like, this is really what's happening in the world. I know it might sound fucking crazy the way I'm, like, saying it to you, but if you think about it, this is what's happening.
Well, yeah, and I was telling Austin last night, I was like, dude, I hate to, like, I feel like I'm putting on my little tinfoil hat here, but, like... Dude, there's some sketchy stuff going on.
Yeah,
like, there's some really thick curtains, and there's a lot of shit going on behind them.
Happening,
like,
dude. I don't know. All I can do is ride it out and just keep doing reaction videos. That's pretty much all I got.
Hang out here in Wyoming and
keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out. We can see a long ways off, man.
Yeah. We got a long ways to see.
Well, if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Although I don't suggest it.
The thumbs down one. We don't suggest
the thumbs
that
down one. We don't.
Neither does
suggest
YouTube.
It.
YouTube likes the thumbs up, so just do that one.
So I want to try a little experiment with you guys, okay? So with the YouTube algorithm, right? So basically, interactions help boost our videos, whether that be likes, shares, comments, all of that good stuff. You guys are always in the comment section. We love that. We love reading and replying to comments. We've been a little busy here the last couple days, so I got a lot of comments to catch back up on.
We both do.
Here's what I want to try, okay? You guys don't necessarily even have to share the video, but let me show you what to do here. So
this will be a testament to all the people that made it this far too.
So editing, Matt, okay? You're gonna go ahead and leave this screen cap up. Okay. So if you go to share, okay, and then you hit copy link, that should count as a share.
Oh, really?
You don't even have to post it anywhere. We would love it if you would, but if you don't, you could sit there and close out of that.
On his original video, if you just hit the copy, that counts as another share?
That counts as another share.
Nuh-uh.
So we just shared that 3 times there.
Wow.
That should help boost that in the algorithm. If you guys want to go do that to our video, we would greatly appreciate it.
I did not know that was a thing.
We're going to see if this actually works. I figured out it does work on TikTok, so
okay.
Let's see if YouTube's the same.
All right.
So help us do some science.
For those that made it this far, that's it. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so smash that subscribe button, click the bell, become part of the notification gang, and go ahead and share that link.
Yeah, just do the thing.
With that, we'll see you guys next time. Bow.